The majority of this information to follow in this presentation is geared towards non-level funding products. You can see many of the BGA carriers offer these level funding products, and for more information on those, for your clients, please contact your BGA Group account executive. Also, please note your Black Gould account executives can confirm the requirements discussed in this presentation as it pertains to your clients. Reviewing some of the annual quoting statistics at Black Gould & Associates. With sales and quoting specialists and account management and the renewal team on your account, there can be up to 12 people working on a group quote at any given time. Over 4,800 group quotes are processed each year through BGA, and over 33% of those happen in the last quarter of the year. You can see how busy this time of year can get with the staffs at Black Gould and the different carriers. The following presentation will help you make this busy time of year go smoother for our brokers. The different rating structures carriers use for group medical quotes are composite rating and age-banded rating. Composite rating is billing a group for each member using an average rate for all enrollees combined. Here's an example of what a composite rating looks like. You can see there's 13 employees in this group, and each of them are getting an average rate depending on whether they're employee only, employee spouse, employee child or children, and employee family rate. Again, it's an averaged combined rate for the group. All carriers offer composite rating for groups with 10 or more enrolled. Age-banded rating is a rate table with different rates for each age band from the carrier. This is an example of an age-banded rating. Depending on the plan or the region of the quote, depending on the age of the client and the employees of the client, the rates vary. So adding or subtracting a client, the rates change differently depending on the age of the client or the region the client's located in. Dealing with age-banded rating and composite rating, how carriers' rates are currently structured as follows. Aetna, 10 plus enrolled, uses composite rates, meaning under that uses age-banded rating. Blue Cross, 2 plus eligible, use composite rates. Health Net, you can request one or the other on 2 plus groups, age-banded or composite rating. Humana, 10 plus eligible, use composite rates. And United Healthcare, 10 plus eligible, also use composite rating. Submitting groups to Black Gould & Associates. There are 3 primary ways to submit groups to Black Gould. Agents can show up in person with all the information, via fax or email, which is the most popular, or through the new Group Quote Request tab on your broker portal. For more information on submitting groups electronically through the broker portal, please contact marketing@blackgould.com. When submitting a group, you're taking 2 things into consideration: the group bio information and the group census information. Things that go in the group bio are name, location, tax ID, etc. Things that go into the group census are gender, date of birth, and home zip codes. These 2 factors are needed to complete an accurate quote. Digging a little deeper into group bio requirements, BGA needs you to provide the following data so we can obtain accurate quotes from the carriers from your clients. We need the group name, physical business address, the nature of business or industry SIC code, the desired effective date, details on the preferred benefits including coverage types, medical, life, dental, disability, vision, etc., plan types, PPOs, HSAs, HMOs, dual or triple choice required, and desired benefit plan details, how many deductibles, co-insurance, different levels that they're looking for. Employer contributions for both employee and dependents for each line of business as well. Starting to dig a little deeper into census requirements. Census requirements are important more now than ever. The better, more complete information gathered up front by the broker, the potential for a faster return on the quote, and most importantly, the less likely the rates quoted will change at the time of carrier installment. Group size is defined based on the total group size, not the total enrolled. All full-time benefit eligible employees working 30 or more hours a week. At this time of enrollment, case installation carriers will verify this information based on payroll records. Therefore, in order to obtain the most accurate group quote, the upfront fact-finding is more important now than ever. For group sizes 2 to 50, eligibility requirements are as follows. Include all those full-time benefit eligible employees, including waivers. Census must include all enrolling spouses and children with dates of birth. Census must include home zip codes for each employee. If the group has multiple plans, the census must include enrollment by plan. This includes the ancillary lines. If the employer has a current group policy in force, provide the current renewal rate information and detailed plan summary. Employer contributions for employees as well as dependents, and new hire waiting periods. Group sizes 51 to 99 eligibility requirements. Similar requirements to the previous size groups with the following addition: current benefit summaries, current rates and any renewals, current commissions information, and any large claims disclosed. Requirements for group size 100 plus. Again, similar to the previous data, including 24 months of detailed claim history with the large claims report. On all case sizes, census data is required for an accurate quote must include the date of births, home zip codes for not only the employee, but for all dependents as well. For those employees waiving coverage, we also need you to provide the reasons for the waiver, coverage through spouse or parents, TRICARE, VA, access coverage, etc. Rates are as valid as the information provided to formulate those rates. As the data changes, the quote rates change. Quote rates are not final for any group until all enrollment paperwork is submitted, reviewed, and approved by the carrier. Carrier turnaround times during the fourth quarter. Throughout the year, processing times for groups, quotes, and installation vary. During the last quarter of the year, the turnaround times increase significantly. Factors contributing to the quote delays this time of year are not just based on the volume of business during this time of year. Some delays may include the following: missing information, complexities within the group like multi-location or changes in census. Certain holidays throughout the time of year also may contribute to this delay. It is extremely important to submit all carrier requirements this time of year for the optimal turnaround on group cases. A very popular occurrence during the busy fourth quarter is last-minute submission requests of the enrollments. This sometimes cannot be avoided, but will certainly delay the processing of group accounts. If at all possible, do not push the enrollments to the last moment. But to understand a client's options, below is a table of the carrier's case submission deadlines. First, Aetna, Health Net, Humana, and United Healthcare all have similar rules where a case must be submitted by the 5th of the requested effective date month or the work day prior to a weekend or holiday that falls on the 5th. And this is for a first of the month effective date. For a similar effective date, Blue Cross and Cigna have different rules. For Blue Cross, all cases must be submitted, processed, final rates issued, final rates signed, and a group number issued by the 10th of the requested effective date month. As for Cigna, cases are ideally submitted 14 days prior to a first of the month effective date to get the desired effective date. Cigna and Humana do not allow middle of the month effective dates. Health Net and United Healthcare are similar, where a case must be submitted by the last business day on or prior to the 20th of the requested effective date month. Aetna requires a case to be submitted by the last business day prior or on the 19th of the requested effective date month. 4 popular questions on case underwriting revolve around participation requirements, employer contributions, new hire waiting periods, and management or alike carve-outs and eligibility. The table in the next slides will review each carrier's stance on these 4 underwriting situations. For Aetna, you can see participation requirements on contributory plans are 60% after valid waivers, and they will round down. Employers are not required to contribute a minimum of 50% of the employee-only premium. New hire waiting periods are the first of the month following the date of hire, 30 days or 60 days. Carve-outs are allowed on groups of up to 50 eligible full-time employees. With Blue Cross, participation requirements are 70% after valid waivers are removed. Employers are not currently required to contribute to the employee premium. New hire waiting periods are no longer tracked and are assumed to comply with the Affordable Care Act. Carve-outs are allowed on groups. For Cigna, participation requirements are 50% of all eligible employees. Employers are required to contribute a minimum of 50% of the employee-only premium. New hire waiting periods can be as long as employer wants, below 90 days past the hire date. Carve-outs are allowed on groups. For Health Net, participation requirements are 1 to 5 employees, 66%, 6 to 50 employees, 50% after the valid waivers. Employers are required to contribute a minimum of 50% of the employee-only premium or a flat $100 contribution per employee per month. New hire waiting periods are the first day of the month following the date of hire, 30 days or 60 days. If no waiting period is given, then 60 days is assumed. Carve-outs are not allowed on groups with Health Net. For Humana, participation requirements are not enforced on community-rated groups. Employers currently are not required to contribute to the employee premium. New hire waiting periods are PPO, first of the month following the date of hire, 30 or 60 days. If no waiting period is given, then 60 days is assumed. For the NPOS products, 90-day max, and for the HMO products, it's a 60-day max for waiting periods. Carve-outs are allowed on groups for Humana. Finally, United Healthcare. Participation requirements are 50% of total full-time eligible employees, and waivers are not considered. Employers are required to contribute a minimum of equal to 50% of the employee-only premium on the lowest cost plan, or a reasonable contribution amount such as $125 defined contribution. New hire waiting periods are first of the month following effective date of hire, 30 days or 60 days. Carve-outs are allowed with United Healthcare underwriting approval and a minimum of 5 enrolling. A final popular discussion is over small group, 1099, and W-2 relationship requirements. A few carriers are easier to work with on very small groups. Humana will approve a husband and wife 2-person group as long as one is on the wage and tax. United Healthcare will consider a 1099 employee, and Humana and Health Net will if there is a minimum of 1 W-2 employee. Groups with only 1 enrolling employee are treated as follows. For Aetna, there must be 2 eligible. The 1 enrolling must be a valid waiver. The enrollee can be the owner. For Blue Cross, they need 2 eligible. 1 can waive with a valid waiver, and the second one that enrolls must be a common law employee, therefore cannot be the owner. Health Net, there must be 1 W-2 eligible employee. Humana, for medical coverage only, requires appropriate tax documents, Owner Schedule C, SC 1040, ECF, ELI cert form, and W-2 on wage and tax. Must have 2 eligible, although 1 can be a valid waiver, and Humana does not pay commission on these products for 1 enrolling. UHC will approve an owner and at least 1 1099 employee, non-spouse. The 1099 employee can waive coverage with just the owner enrolling.